Welcome in, Carter. Hello, Rangers.
Welcome to the fucking show.
We're one person short tonight.
Yeah, he's over there in Fairy World. He'll be all right.
Yep. Crangus is being held hostage at the Magic Kingdom. And he is currently on top of Space Mountain.
Naked.
And afraid.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a two-man show, but we're going to have fun with it still. So as y'all can see from the thumbnail, we're going to talk a lot about a certain sport. A lot of shit came out, and that's kind of the shit we like. So before we get into that, you cool if you want to do the draft real quick?
Yeah, let's do the draft.
All right.
But I do want to say congratulations to the Denver Nuggets on winning the NBA championship. And the Vegas Golden Knights on winning the Stanley Cup.
Nice. You know, you always forget that the Stanley Cup has ended. Because like, if you look at like Instagram and stuff, it's all joking stuff with maybe one NHL post from ESPN.
Yep.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely doesn't get the credit it deserves, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, going into this draft, I figured we're going to have a college kind of night because we also got college baseball going on.
Mm-hmm.
New schedules came out for the SEC.
All right.
So we're going to do a top three. Once again, guys, we want to hear your votes in the comment sections, and you tell us who won out of me and Carter. We know Crane just lost this week. So what we're going to do is greatest college football traditions. Top three. You want to rock, paper, scissors for the first?
I mean, I'm fine with, if you want to do it that way. Yeah, we could do that. Ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, snowballs.
Fair enough. Let's go again.
What? Oh, we both did paper?
Yeah, we both had paper.
Well, damn it. All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, snowballs. There you go.
All right. First overall pick, which, once again, man, it might be slept on. I'm going to go with the Penn State wideout. That's one of my favorite things to see in all college football. Can't stand Penn State, but it's awesome to see.
I'm kind of okay. I'll be that guy. Give me the Army Navy game.
Okay. So you're going with actual games on this one. Okay.
Well, no, I mean it could be different, all kinds of things.
Yeah, it could be anything. Number two, which easily could have been number one for my pick, I'm gonna go with the Hawkeye Wave, where Iowa at the end of the first quarter all turns and waves at the Children's Hospital. One of the coolest things in all sports. You disagree with that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Give me Enter Sandman. Virginia Tech.
All right. Number three. There's a lot of good ones still not touched. Like you got the Notre Dame slap of the champs. But I'm actually going to take Colorado running out with the
Ralphie?
Yeah, with old Ralphie.
It's so weird. It's just like you read my mind, okay?
Uh-huh.
Because the video I have plays into this just so perfectly. So I was going to do a little segment with it, but this is better.
All right.
I'm going to show mine instead of saying it.
Dude, that might give you the edge of the win on this draft. It's good.
And this is the greatest entrance in all of college football, might I add.
fucking T.
Running through the team.
So that's your
Man.
number 3. That's a good one. So you got, or hey, I got Penn State wideout, the Hawkeye wave, and then the Colorado run through. You got, go ahead.
The Army Navy game. I got Inner Sandman, Virginia Tech, and the
Classic.
greatest college football entrance of them all, running through the T.
I thought the video was going to help you. I think it's going to hurt you. You guys vote whether or not it's me or Carter, and what you guys would have put in there instead. Like, what is it? The Death Valley Hill. Like I said, the
Howard's
Notre Dame,
Rock.
Howard's Rock, the God, what's that? The Seminole. I mean, whatever you guys think is the number one, let us know. It could be the Ohio State Eye. Who knows?
No,
Um,
the good thing is, Trenches, I have another video I can use,
mhm.
so that's okay. That one
Okay.
was good for what I used it for.
Okay.
Each week, I'm going to start doing like a tradition, a Carter's tradition of the week.
Okay. I like it.
So some of these that were named, you're probably going to see down the road.
I will say the way that the momentum of that stadium is rocking at Neyland, it's going to be interesting to see Georgia play there next year. This
Yes,
year, sorry,
yes. This November.
this November. What else we got going on? So where are we at on baseball college?
Well, I believe tomorrow will be the start of the College World Series in Omaha. Um, Let me look at that bracket real quick. Um, of course, my team was able to get in, so I'm happy about that. Um, but there's 7 other amazingly great teams there, so it's not going to be a cakewalk. But let's see. Yeah, tomorrow we have game 1, which will be Oral Roberts versus TCU,
Okay.
and that will be on ESPN. That's at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. 7 o'clock on ESPN, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. You will have Virginia versus Florida. So the Gators and the Cavs are gonna get it on. Um, then Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central on ESPN, you have the Wake Forest Demon Deacons versus the Stanford Cardinal.
Okay.
And then at 7 o'clock on Saturday, 7 Eastern on ESPN, you have the LSU Tigers taking on my Tennessee Vols. So there's your 8 teams: Oral Roberts, TCU, Virginia, Florida, Wake Forest, Stanford, LSU, and Tennessee.
Now, who do you think's the heavy favorite in all this? Like, who's the highest ranked?
Wake Forest.
Wake.
They beat Alabama 22-5 the other day in the
God.
Super Regional or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if y'all win, who would y'all go and fade? If y'all get past your first
If
bracket.
if we win, we'll have to play the winner of Wake Forest and Stanford.
Okay.
The worst thing you can do is end up in that losers bracket on day 1. That's the worst thing, because then
Mhm.
you're really fighting an uphill battle. Um, it's not as bad if you end up in the losers bracket like on a day 2 or 3, because more than likely it's just never good when you end up in the losers bracket on day 1.
Yeah.
Um, Oral Roberts is kind of that team that, man, they smaller school, but man, they're clicking. They're hot. Florida's a really good team. They're probably the second best team in the tournament. Um, but you know, each one of these teams, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these 8 teams won it. I mean, look at last year. Ole Miss was a team that nobody thought would even make it to Omaha. Well, they not only just made it to Omaha, they won the whole damn thing. So um,
Well, if y'all
anything
get
can
to the point,
happen.
if y'all get to the point where y'all in Florida, I don't really know who I'd root for, but I would do my best to watch those games. I think it would be very interesting.
Yeah. If we could make it to the final two, I don't care who it is we play.
Yeah,
Just to get
I
to
just
that point, would be amazing.
I just can't see the Gators win anything. Um,
Right.
so let's see. We talked about it a little bit. Denver went on to win it all.
Yes.
I mean, is it pretty much just set in stone right now? Jokic is the man when it comes to all NBA right now.
Yeah, he's just he's kind of that franchise guy. And he's definitely being looked at as the top player in the league, I think. So which and that's just how the NBA is, though. There's always going to be there's that one guy who basically is the best in the league. LeBron's been that way for the last how many ever years. Kobe was that way, of course. Michael was that way, and then you know Magic and Larry Bird were kind of back and forth with that, but he's kind of taken that role on, and I think he deserves it.
I guess, man. I'm a Giannis fan, so I was kind of hoping he'd just hold on to the throne, but we see, every other year it gets changed up.
Hmm.
So, do you want to get into your video or do you want to get into the schedules?
Um, we can knock we can knock my video out real quick, and then just
All right.
focus on the rest of the show being in the 2024 schedules.
Yeah, because it's interesting.
It is, no doubt. And so I'll you know me, trenches. I'm a little bit. I guess I'm being a little bit of a homer here. But here's a quick little video about the greatest entrance in college football. Here we
Okay.
go.
This to hear that it's game night. It's time for Tennessee football. And when the pride of the Southland Band forms that main team, you are swimming in Southern college football pageantry.
It is routinely listed as one of the greatest entrances in all of sports. Running through the T. Born from two of the greatest innovators in school history, the iconic introduction of the Tennessee Volunteers yields an unlikely backstory.
We were dressing in the east side of the stadium before the games, and that's where we were early on. And I decided I would rather be on the west side. Said, well, how are we going to get over there? That the other team comes out, we're going to have to run through the other team. So I asked Dr. Julian, I said, well, maybe the band could come up there and make up something. He said, well, I'll make a T and you run through the T. And so we decided to run through that T, and it worked out, and the other team never bothered the band.
What began as a defensive maneuver quickly vaulted to one of Tennessee's illustrious traditions. The route has since shifted 90 degrees and now welcomes the Vols onto the field from the north end zone. To this day, fans routinely arrive early to catch the Pride's pregame performance, which is capped by this electric entrance and signals one thing.
It's football time in Tennessee.
And that's it.
Now, during a game, they only run to the side of their sidelines, right?
Yeah.
So they're really just running through an L.
Trenches. It's not.
I'm saying, all right, so like I get it for spring games because you can split off, but during a game you can't. So it's just a.
Hmm. But it
Yeah,
would be a
it's the
upside
power L
down. It'd be an upside down L. So actually, it would be more like an R.
or backward seven.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
If they went to the left, it would be a 7. They used to go to the left because that's where they had
Right.
they switched the sides because they thought it would be better, which probably is, to put the away team in front of the student section.
Well, I
So,
didn't hear no Baba O'Reilly, so I'm not too impressed.
hmm
All right. So once again, you guys vote. Let us know who won that one, and who would y'all rather see on that list instead of the 6 that we threw out there. You ready to get into these schedules, man? Because there's some stuff that's weird about it.
okay, yeah, I'd
All
like
right.
to hear this weird part you're talking about.
Well, more. I'm not even going to say weird. If you want to, you can go full screen on your end on the StreamYard. You can see a little better.
Hmm
More just like it's weird because all right. So look at South Carolina. As a Georgia fan, it's weird to not to have them on our schedule. Y'all don't have them either.
Nope, we sure don't.
Missouri, Vanderbilt, those 3 SC's teams, Georgia just don't play, which is kind of just the South Carolina one to me is the oddest because that's still a rivalry for Georgia. But let's see, who are y'all missing? South Carolina,
We're missing South Carolina, Missouri,
Missouri.
and that's about it.
No, you got to be
Because
missing one
we're
more.
we're still playing Florida, Georgia, Vandy, and Kentucky. That's 4 out of
So
the East.
you kept most of your East. So that's not bad.
Hmm
All right, so let's go over each one real quick, and then I want to see who you think's got the easiest and hardest schedule. Non-cons, not even like we're just looking at these. Like I know Georgia just announced that 2024 they got Clemson on their non-con. We're not
God
worried about
dang.
that. We're looking at this right here. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they did that. All right, so starting with Alabama, they got Auburn, Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Vandy. To me, that's a good schedule, but there's some in here that are worse. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like I'd rather see Oklahoma on my schedule in the next 2 years than Texas.
Those road games though, whew, at LSU, at Oklahoma, at Tennessee, it evens out. You got Vandy, you got South Carolina, uh, but you still got to play Georgia in that same year. I really would like to know who their non-con is,
Yeah,
because
I don't know
that
if that's
might
been announced
make
yet.
I see ours is.
So is
Um,
Georgia's.
let me see. I bet it is because they always play in some kind of kickoff shit or something. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of good for Alabama. Like they're out of the 4 hard games they got, or it actually is bad for them. Only one of
oh,
them's a home game. Who they
they got
get?
to play at Camp Randall, Wisconsin.
Oh, come on, man! They should beat the living shit out of Wisconsin.
Plus Western Kentucky, South Florida, and Mercer.
That's not terrible. Um, I just don't know why. Like, all right. So who was y'all's big non-con? Like Georgia put Clemson. It makes no sense to me with the schedule. Who'd y'all put?
We put NC State and Charlotte with the
It's not a pushover.
right.
Um, but I will say, yeah, Alabama would. It's a tougher schedule now that you said that. Looking at the home and away, because really the only thing they got to lean on is they do get Georgia at Bryant Denny. The rest
hmm
is murder's row at the away games. Um, let's move to Arkansas real quick.
Yep.
Not that bad if you
They
really
play
look at it.
A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas, at Auburn, at Mississippi State, at Missouri, and at A&M.
For Arkansas, that's a murderers. But if you look at the rest of the schedule, it's not that bad.
They got to play at Oklahoma State too. By the way, that's their non-conference game, big non-conference game. They also play Arkansas, Pine Bluff, UAB, and Louisiana Tech.
Mm.
Yeah.
God, look at Auburn's away games. Fuck.
Or yeah. Let's see who
enjoy
Auburn plays in non-conference.
enjoy Disney World near Kansas.
Oh, okay. They okay. They play Louisiana Monroe, New Mexico State. There's one they haven't announced, which will probably be like a Division 2, but they open up the season against Cal at home.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
interesting, man. Like with this, like I really thought there'd be nothing but pushovers for the non-con, but it looks like no SEC teams are really backing away from that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're right. Uh, who's next? Florida.
Florida's got Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, and A&M at home, and then of course you got the neutral game with Georgia, which that one's actually going to be in Athens. And then Mississippi State at Tennessee at Texas. Man, those are some rough away games.
Okay. Okay. Here it gets better. All right. Their 4 non-conference games are Samford, UCF. Of course, you know they play Florida at Florida State at the end of the year, and they open up with Miami at home.
Woo.
These dudes are playing Miami and Florida State on top of this crazy SEC schedule. And they're even playing UCF. It's like what the hell? They're going to have that might be the toughest schedule, dude. I mean, they got lucky playing Kentucky at home and LSU at home and Ole Miss and A&M, but still got to go to Mississippi State, got to go to Tennessee, and got to go to Texas. Then, of course, the cocktail party against Georgia. Florida, for the first time, may have a fucking really hard schedule.
But the problem with Florida is the same thing they've had every other fucking year. Their non-cons are always in state.
That is
They
true.
always do that shit. And it's tough, man, especially with Miami on a come up. Florida State's looking really good coming into this season. That's a tough schedule, but fuck, dude. You got to start putting people out of conference or out of your state. Georgia's got Auburn, Florida at home, Mississippi State at home, and Tennessee at home. The away games is at Bryant-Denny, at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, and for the first time I can think of, at Texas.
Yep.
Which that's going to be crazy to see.
You also got Georgia Tech, of course, at home at the end of the year.
At Clemson.
It actually says you're playing Clemson in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz for the Chick-fil-A kickoff.
All right, our second home.
Yep, and you're playing Tennessee Tech, Golden Eagles.
Okay.
So.
All right, so right now, as we get through to Georgia, you're saying right now Florida might have the hardest so far?
Yeah. Right now, and that's including their non-conference games. I mean, good Lord.
And are we in agreement right now? Arkansas is at the easiest.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right. Kentucky, Auburn, Georgia, South Carolina, and Vandy at home. Away, they got Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas.
Fair enough. That might be the easiest one.
I don't know, man. At Tennessee and at Texas.
Yeah, okay.
Who's their non-cons?
Their non-conference games are Akron. They're playing at Akron. That's weird. Ohio Bobcats, Murray State Racers, and of course Louisville. That's their in-state rival, Louisville Cardinals.
So they took no chances.
Yeah, they took they're like, well, we'll play at Akron. Will that work?
All right. I'm going to switch it up and say LSU might have the easiest schedule as far as SEC. They got Bama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Vandy all at home. So Bama's really the one that stands out, but you get it at home. Their aways is Arkansas, Florida, South Carolina, Texas A&M. That might be easier than Arkansas's.
Wait till you hear their non-conference games.
All right, who you got?
They're going to play Nichols, okay, in South Alabama. But dude, I can't believe I'm reading this right. But this is legit. They're playing the UCLA Bruins at home, but they're opening the season in Las Vegas against the USC Trojans.
Okay, that bumped them up. Those last two games definitely bumped them up a little bit.
I mean, they're playing USC and UCLA. Like, what?
So you still sticking Kentucky's got the easiest then? Because of USC? Yeah. All right, Ole Miss has Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma at home. Away, they got Arkansas, Florida, LSU, South Carolina. Once again, middle of the road. Your toughest games you got at home, and then you got an away at LSU. Not too terrible.
They got an easy non-conference, dude. They got Georgia Southern, Furman, MTSU, and they're playing at Wake Forest.
Hmm.
And so they're playing at Arkansas, at Florida, at LSU, and at South Carolina. Their home is, like you said, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Georgia. I mean, that's a pretty whack ass schedule too. I mean, it's not that it isn't a hard schedule because I mean they got some hard teams, but they're cupcaking their ass way through the.
Yeah, I'm going to say that they're the weakest right now though because they avoid. Oh no, they're not. I'm going to say I'm still sticking with Arkansas. Arkansas avoided Georgia, avoided Alabama, and their toughest games are all at home. Tennessee, Texas, LSU. They're all home games. And their non-con, you said, was shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Mississippi State.
Yep. They got home games. They got Arkansas, Florida, Missouri, A&M. Away games: Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas. Good fucking God. Oh, man.
Oh, I hope they picked an easy non-conference schedule. UMass, Utah State, Eastern Kentucky, and at Arizona State.
All right. If we were just going on away games, they're winning it right now. But this is a whole schedule. I
Yeah,
still
good
think
point.
Florida might have it.
Sure.
All right. Missouri has Arkansas, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Vandy at home. They got Alabama, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and A&M away. They need one good non-con game to be in contention here. Not to like take over, but at least to say, hey, yeah, it's a real schedule.
They're playing Murray State, the Buffalo Bulls, at UMass. I don't get that. And they're playing at home Boston College.
All right. That's just bullshit. Let's see. So we'll write this down real quick. Arkansas.
Now, do you want to do the Oklahoma? Are we doing Oklahoma next?
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
Who we say? Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State? No, Missouri. Kentucky. And then over here we got Florida. I think Georgia's got a tough one, especially at Alabama, at Texas, and then Tennessee at home. And then put Bama probably there as well. All right, Oklahoma. This is the funniest shit to me out of all of it. It's like they finally get into the SEC and we just say, okay, cool. Well, this is how we're going to play from now on. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Home, they get Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. Thank God you got 3 of those games at home. Then at Auburn, at LSU, at Ole Miss, at Missouri. So really, LSU and Ole Miss.
Yeah, their away games are one thing about I think Texas is going to be the same way here. Oklahoma's got to find 2 more non-conference opponents because of the whole. But the only 2 they have right now are Temple and Tulane.
Okay.
I think Texas is probably going to be the same. But anyway, I know that we're going to South Carolina now?
South Carolina. They got at home games. They got LSU, Ole Miss, Missouri, and A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Away at Alabama, at Kentucky, at Oklahoma, at Vandy. To me, that's a middle of the road kind of schedule.
Yeah, those away games are, at Vandy, at Kentucky. They do got to go to Bama and Oklahoma, so,
Yeah, but let's be honest. Like some teams like this, you're looking at it going, you're pretty much crossing that Bama game out, or if they got to go it's an L, no matter if it's home or away. These kind of teams, you kind of just cross it as an L, unless it's like a miracle kind of thing happens. So it's really, you look at the games they can win, and they got them all kind of at home, except for Kentucky and Vandy.
Of course, they're always going to play. They're playing at Clemson at the end of the year. Of course, their other 3 games: Old Dominion, Akron, and Wofford. So, but
all right. Moving on to Tennessee. Home
Yeah.
games: Bama, Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Away: Arkansas, at Georgia, at Oklahoma, at Vandy.
So 2 tough road games, 2, like
One tough home, two tough away. Like if I was to put money on those this whole schedule, there'd be 3 that I'm like, who am I picking on this one? You know what I mean?
yeah.
All right.
Their
Texas.
non-conference games are
Yeah.
we got Chattanooga, Kent State, UTEP, and then of course we're playing NC State at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. So
That's good. Texas. So here's one thing I'm not liking. Texas and Oklahoma, they got harder schedules now, but if you notice, their hardest games they're putting at home. Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State at home. Away, Arkansas, Oklahoma, A&M, Vandy.
but Oklahoma's not even a road game. They're playing it in Dallas. So
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So really, it's Arkansas, A&M, Vandy. I'm not impressed with their schedule.
right.
Really, it's Georgia you got to worry about, and maybe at A&M.
They're going to make up for it with their non-conference game.
Yeah, that's true. They still haven't picked those, right?
No, they actually have all theirs. Oklahoma's just I don't know
yeah.
what the fuck's wrong with them, but all right. Colorado State, Texas San Antonio, Louisiana Monroe. Here's the big one at Michigan.
Ooh.
Yep.
Props to Texas.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to A&M. Arkansas, LSU, Missouri, and Texas are all at home. Away, Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina. Weakest schedule in all the SEC schedules, right there. A&M.
They got Texas, Missouri, LSU, and Arkansas at home. At South Carolina, at Mississippi State, at Florida, at Oh yeah, dude, that's an easy schedule, really.
Yeah.
Now their non-conference are as follows: New Mexico State, Bowling Green, McNeese, and Notre Dame.
Okay.
Thank God that Notre Dame game's on there, though, bro.
Yeah. Not too impressed. And then to top it off, we got Vandy. They
Well, we
got
saved
home.
them for last, didn't we?
Yeah. Home, they got Bama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. Away, Auburn, Kentucky, LSU, Missouri. Once again, their toughest games are all at home. Let's be honest, it's probably all L's.
Yeah, dude, they got the toughest schedule just because who they are.
Yeah. All right, so who's their
But they're non-conference. Hold
Yeah.
on. Georgia State, SMU, which are 2 teams they can lose
Yeah.
to. Norfolk State, they'll definitely win, but here's the best part. They're opening up the season in Nashville against the Virginia Tech Hokies at Nissan Stadium.
Let me ask you this. Looking at Vanderbilt's non-con and conference gameplay, if I was to say their over-under was 2.5 wins, would you bet on it? And where
I'd
would you
say
bet?
under.
You'd say under? You think they maybe just get that one?
I think all right. I think they'll get 2. I think they'll beat Norfolk State, and I think they'll beat Georgia State. But I really don't see them beating SMU the way they're rolling. I don't see them beating Virginia Tech, or I don't see them beating anybody in the SEC. I see an 0-8. Maybe they can get by SMU. They're going to have a 3-9, 2-10, maybe a 1-11 season. And dude, we're talking like a year out. I mean, we still got 2023.
I just like with all this shit changing, man. I just don't see the upside for Vanderbilt anymore, man. Like you're never going to catch up at this point.
No. I mean, baseball, I guess. They can still cling to that,
Yeah, but I'm talking about in football, like what do you actually have to watch? It like you can't keep up with recruiting. The game's already passed you tenfold. It's kind of just over for you guys. All right, so weakest we got Arkansas, Missouri, and Kentucky. But the winner, in my eyes, is Texas A&M. They got the weakest schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
Strongest, I got Florida, Georgia, Bama. I'm probably gonna give the edge to Florida on this one. The only thing really they avoided was Bama. I mean, you got Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Ole Miss, A&M, like that's fuck. Like if you notice, no one on these schedules have Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, and Texas.
Right.
You got to avoid one of those games. So I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's evenly split, but those teams like A&M and shit, like you got to do something with your non-cons to keep up.
I feel like Oklahoma's definitely getting more of a welcoming party than Texas a little bit. But then
Uh,
again, I don't know.
let's see, Bama, Tennessee, Tech. You mean as far as like, hey, welcome to the SEC? Yeah, definitely. A&M's got the easier road, or Texas. Just Texas has the easiest road. I mean, you really just got Georgia and A&M to worry about.
Which is nothing. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I will say though, man, I'm excited about seeing Texas and Texas A&M play each other again, dude. That was always a fun rivalry to watch. So,
Yeah.
like that's one of the cool things about this. These two teams coming in is you get to see that again because that's a big rival, dude. Like I know it's not as big as Texas OU, but Texas A&M and Texas they do not like each other.
All right, let's
And
do this. Let's go through each game, each team, and let's pick what's the game that we're most excited to see on these schedules. Not the non-cons, just the SECs.
okay,
We'll start with Bama. To me, it's Georgia coming into Bryant Denny. Like that's gonna be a hell of a game to watch.
sure.
Arkansas.
Well, I gotta look at their schedule again because I can't.
Honestly, for the way these teams, because I'm also going on like how we think these rosters and these teams actually fit. I'm going to say at Mississippi State is the game I'd probably be tuned in to watch.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, Auburn.
Home against Texas A&M. I don't know.
I was leaning towards that or home against Oklahoma. Florida.
Texas.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Georgia, man. Like it's something new, right? Like we don't see these teams ever go to Texas.
Yeah.
But Georgia, I'm still going to put the Bryant Denny game. I think that everyone wants to see that shit.
Yeah.
Kentucky, I'm going to say at Florida, I guess, because it's always a fun game to watch
Okay.
to see who falls.
LSU.
LSU, I mean, I guess you got to go LSU Bama, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Ole Miss. Did we take the Egg Bowl here?
Got to, right?
Yeah. Mississippi State.
The Egg Bowl.
Yeah. All right. Missouri.
Missouri and A&M. That's old Big 12,
Yeah.
Oklahoma. I got to say Tennessee. Josh Heupel coming back home.
People forget about that.
Going to tear their asses up.
All right.
Because, that last time we played them, it was such a big. I mean, it was really exciting. I mean, both fan bases were into it, so it's kind of already kind of a little bit of a rivalry there, and so I think it's going to definitely with Josh Heupel coming back to Oklahoma, because last time OU won a national championship, Heupel was the quarterback. So
this also be the first time Kirby goes back to Bryant Denny.
there you go.
South Carolina. Oh,
Alabama.
You're saying Alabama. When's the last time those two played?
Well, that's one reason why, because if you remember the 2010 game, South Carolina shocked the world, beat Bama, and I feel like that still leaves a bad taste in Bama fans' mouth, you know. So.
Oh, that I'm telling you right now, Bama's gonna be looking for blood for Georgia, South Carolina, and they're gonna look for blood against Tennessee for the next 15 years. I guarantee it.
Oh, that's really funny.
I'm serious, man. You beat that team once, and all hell breaks loose. All right, Tennessee. I'm sticking with you. I think in the Oklahoma game is the
going
one.
to Norman.
Yeah. Texas, it's got to be A&M, right?
Yeah, that bringing that rivalry back is just, dude, is badass. You just see that again.
So same answer for A&M. Vanderbilt. I guess we go SMU.
Bye week.
The bye week.
I guess I'll give seeing them have to go to LSU get destroyed. But okay, no, it's got
I
to be
got a better one.
Texas.
I
Here's
got
why:
one better. Go ahead.
Texas has a losing record to Vanderbilt overall. Vanderbilt is 8-3-1 against Texas all time.
All right. I'm going to name a team we haven't named in any of these games. I'm going to say when Vanderbilt has to go to Auburn, will be fun to watch. Just because we
Why?
got to show Auburn a little bit of love, and why not? It might be one of those guaranteed wins for Auburn in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the schedule. It definitely turned into a murderer's row for SEC at this point, which
Yeah,
begs the question: why would you want to join?
I agree. I agree. But I know that kind of a short show we had this week. We didn't have our third amigo here, so it kind of threw us off a little bit, but we adjusted. And it was just wait till college football starts, guys. If you think this is bad, you have no idea what's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should see our group chats. It gets ugly quick.
Yes.
But it's all love. It's college football. That's what you do. You have fun, you trash talk, you enjoy it, and you wait for it.
Mhm. Mhm. Any closing statements?
All right, so we're going to 2023. Bama goes 3-9. All right, that's it.
Go Braves on a roll right now. Real
They
hot.
are 8-3 today.
Yep. It's the Rockies and took 2 out of 3 against the Detroit Tigers, and then won the series against the Nationals and swept the Mets. So they're like
Back
eight and
at it.
two in their last 10. So they're doing it.
Now, I read somewhere that they're still thinking that Acuna could win the MVP this year.
Yeah, he's
How
on
you
a roll,
feeling?
man.
And then I
He's
think
on.
they had Strider as the Cy Young Award winner. I was
That'd be
like,
great.
I don't think we get both, but one would be nice.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, that's
All
all
right,
I got.
sounds good. Well, we'll be back next week for episode 8.
It's a 7,
Oh,
yep.
all right. Well, Cran, we missed you. Yeah, I got an itch. Anyway, see
See
you,
you guys.
everybody.